Well, hello! How's everyone doing? Welcome back to another episode of the Redraw Challenge. Yes, this is the third official Redraw video, as you guys can see. But I would first like to thank everyone who asked for a Redraw, and it was just a really huge response from you guys, and I feel really moved, and I feel really bad because I can't get to all you guys. Some of you guys are being really quirky on your responses, and I just want to draw everyone's drawing, and I feel terrible that I can't get to everyone, especially since it's getting a lot more busy. But yes, we're doing one of these a week, and this week we are redrawing Rakgami. Rakgami's violin girl. Rakgami, great work. I really like the picture you've chosen, and you have a lot of really strong shapes in your drawing, so keep it up. Your characters are looking good. With just a little more work, you can be the best in the land. So what I do on this show is I basically walk you guys through my thinking process as I'm drawing, and try to remember some of the things that was going through my mind. So already we passed up a lot of the beginning phases, but I just gotta slow it down because my brain kind of just goes crazy when I'm recording this. Anyways, the hardest part, let's first talk about that on this picture so far, was the violin. The violin was difficult, so I had to go look at violins, and because your picture was pretty loose too, and I get it. I like loose drawings. I do the same. And that's okay. So I actually looked up the picture that I found was actually very similar to yours. It might be the same picture you used. So luckily I was able to capture kind of the same angle of the violin. So it turned out to be okay. But I did struggle for a second. And I also struggle with the face. There's always that struggle when there's something wrong with the drawing and you just keep attacking it over and over and over like that nose, and just keep going and going, and just what I mean, it's that moment of stress. And I didn't give up. Just don't give up. Take a break, come back to it, but don't give up. That if you feel crappy about your work, then you know that there's something wrong and there's room for improvement, and that's a good thing. Yeah, so there was a lot of things I actually changed about the picture. Gave her a little more twist in her hips, kind of bend it a little bit. Try and give it a little more movement. I felt like the original pose was a little stiff, a little just straightforward. But add a little rhythm. If you can see, there's like kind of an art now to her whole figure. And I also gave her a big old frilly dress and hair kind of blowing in the wind. I just felt it was suitable. But this stage where I'm inking is pretty much the easiest stage. It used to not be, because I was really, such a noob and stressing over each and every line, not realizing what the process of quote unquote inking it is. I don't consider this actually inking. Not the official professional like inks for comics or anything. It's more of cleanup. We can just call it cleanup. So I'm pretty much cleaning up the drawing and kind of keeping it loose still, using the lines underneath really just for inspiration, and always leaving it gives me room to be inspired and create something new, and not be so rigid and stuck to the initial plan. It's there to guide you. Of course, you want to stay close to it, but feel free to break it and change it up a bit. So I'm starting to find that the characters that I have the most fun drawing are kind of, I guess, more stylized anime, quote unquote. A lot more kind of stylized features. And we can go on days and days with with the terminology of anime and or Eastern stylization, all that stuff. But I feel okay with calling this anime. It's pretty animated, you know. I guess we could talk a little bit about it. I got some time. So for me, I can consider this animation anime because it's in a style that it's suitable for animation, and I think that's the criteria that I would put that under if it were to be called anime. Simpler shapes, without all the rendering, without all the like the shading effects and stuff. Because in animation, you want to just stick to two value scheme kind of thing, simple enough that you can animate. But generally speaking, the structures that I'm drawing would be okay for animation. It can be even simplified even more, actually. And I started watching Kill la Kill again lately, and oh man, when you hunt and sift through tons and tons of anime just to try to find a good anime, and then you come back to Kill la Kill, you really find an appreciation for their level of craftsmanship, their skill level. They're just insane. I'd say they're on par with like the Western animation companies. Yeah, Kill la Kill is a freaking beautiful animation. Insane. What am I talking about? Okay, so what's going on here? I'm trying to discover how can I punch this drawing a bit. It's always back and forth. How can I punch it, the darks, and give it some contrast in the most kind of easiest way, like, and that's really to add in those darks again, like the cast shadow under the neck, and the same thing with our last redraw. It's very similar, but I tend to go overboard. I think I could have stopped. I could have stopped earlier, like 2 minutes ago, and it would have been done. But the more I work, the more it's hard to find that balance of how much render can you give it without being overly rendered, because it's kind of like a dance, a balancing act. So we have some darks under the chin. That's our first read. It's her face, obviously, the focal point. That's what we want to shine. It's the star. It's the star of the illustration. Then it's the violin. But I put it the part where she's playing the strings, underneath the violin, so it's like a strong cast shadow. Now I'm kind of darkening the edges of that bottom dress, so for a third read, but not so dark where it pulls away from either of the first two reads, so first, second, third reads. But I wasn't happy with that, so I'm like going back and forth, just erasing and darkening, erasing, darkening. It's really, like I said, a dance of balancing, a balancing act kind of. And still, I'm not happy with it. So I'm just gonna try to darken a little more around the whole figure, you know. Look at that. I guess we're running out of time. We are running out of time. Thanks so much, Rakgami, for this week's redraw request. Again, if you guys would like. Keep trying. And I choose these drawings randomly, so I might pick you if you keep trying. If I didn't pick you, I'm sorry. Have faith. We'll get to you soon enough. It can be a really simple drawing. It can be a more complicated drawing. Either way works. Just post on my Instagram. I'll have this picture up, and just right underneath, like you've done before, redraw, asking me to redraw, you can just write the word redraw. And also, I forgot, there was also a topic that I wanted to cover. What's it? Dang, I'm running out of time. It was basically, how do you learn from studies? And I guess we'll talk about that in my next episode. I totally forgot about it on this one, so we'll do it next time. Thanks, everyone. Take care. Bada pieces.
Castles and dragons, the battle begins tonight. Are you with me? This is is our kingdom, and we won't